Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome to this whiskey review here on the channel where we're continuing on our Bunnahabhain series. And today we're going to be moving into the Bunnahabhain Ceobanach. So this is a no-age statement whiskey from Bunnahabhain, but it is a peated expression. Some of you will be like, Jason, it's an Islay distillery. What are you talking about? So Bunnahabhain produce peated and unpeated whiskies, and this one being a peated one. So Ceobanach actually translates, and it's Scotch Gaelic, and it means in English smoky mist, and that's exactly what it is. It's a peated expression from Bunnahabhain. So it's a no-age statement. Some places it has said that this one can be up to 10 years of age, bottled at 46.3% ABV. I actually also have to stress that it is a no-age statement, but that some sources have said that different batches can be as old as 10 years of age. The actual cask selection, and it's got a very nice lighter color to it. I have read that it is ex-bourbon casks and it's peated whiskey. So with this one, I don't believe there's any sherry character, but we'll see how that goes on the actual palate. The actual distillery is the Bunnahabhain Distillery. They are owned by the parent company to the Still Group Limited, and they're located on Islay, Scotland, and over onto the actual East Coast. So if you are paying a visit to Islay, one of the distilleries that I really loved was Bunnahabhain, so I do highly recommend go pay them a visit. You get a really interesting experience, especially the warehouse tour. That is brilliant. So, price point next. How much is a full-size bottle of this? And this is actually £54. So it's actually very affordable. And in terms of exclusivity, it is exclusive as it's produced in batches. So once a batch is finished, you kind of have to wait till the next batch. And I've just recently seen in my shops in London, there is the batch for this year that has come out. So I'm going to be going to try that one because I've tried last year and the year before. I really like this expression, so fingers crossed this can live up to it. Now there's no caramel colour, so without further ado, let's just jump straight into the nose. So starting things out on the nose for the Bunnahabhain Ceobanach. So first impressions on the nose of this whiskey, I'm getting quite a sort of damp character. It's almost like a damp fire smoke, where it's got a very different sort of smokiness to it. It's not like a woody smoke. Neither is it like, a very earthy smoke, but it's like this dampness that just really comes through. And then it moves into this note for me that just reminds me of as if someone's done the paving with tarmac, and you can smell the tarmac as if the rain's just hit it, and you get that sort of cool tar character. Then it develops these spicier notes on the nose. Black pepper, dark, sort of, I'd say dark cloves. And then it becomes a bit sweeter as you let that sort of settle through. Apples, but honeyed apples, maybe a bit of toffeed apples. And then there's this little sort of, to me it reminds me of seaweed, like when we were actually in Campbelltown. One of the actual ports we were near, you actually can see seaweed or there's like sea kelp. And it was actually drying on the side, and that smell of it, of that seaweed kelp character, with that salty maritime character coming through, just really just reminds me of that bit being at that port. It's just one of those characters you have to be there to experience it. But none of these characters are overpowering one another, which I really find very pleasant. They're not fighting one another. They're very well married together. Let's get into the palate next. Slager. Arrival on the palate for this one's actually a bit different from the other two batches I tried in the past. This one's got, for me, a light medium texture. You do get that pea character, but it's very different. It's like a clean pea. It actually reminds me of when you drink an Ardbeg, how an Ardbeg differs to a Laphroaig, where Laphroaig you get this really earthy character, but Ardbeg's rather clean. Really reminds me of that, a nice clean peat on the palate. It's accompanied by that sort of sea salt, that briny note. Definitely, it reminds me of seaweed, but actually like these dry seaweeds that you get from, I bought it in Costco. It's like a pack of seaweed. Sort of with a bit of sea salt as well. It just reminds me of that on the palate. And then you move into these citrus notes. A bit of lemon, grapefruit peel, with a little bit of the bitter pith on the inside of this one. Then you get into these spices. Now it's a bit of sweet cloves. A little bit, I want to say honey pepper, but without sounding too astray. It's like almost like a peppered ham, where you got this honeyed peppered ham. You get a little bit of that meaty character coming through, the spiciness, and then the sweetness, and it all plays one after another. But overall, really lovely on the actual palate for this whiskey. And there is a little sweeter note with that honey note, which for me, that just reminds me of vanilla fudge. And that's because I've been trying that recently and it was just brilliant stuff. So that sweeter vanilla fudge. Maybe that's from the bourbon car, I don't know. But anyway, let's get to the finish next to see the conclusion on this whiskey, into the finish. So to conclude the Bunnahabhain Ceobanach, so I'm going to give you guys my opinions on the finish and also my rating. So overall tasting notes on the finish for this whiskey, it's got a nice, long, spicy, yet smoky, earthy character that really goes very well, and it holds itself on the palate and really doesn't want to let go, which I think is fantastic on this one. In terms of my rating though, I'm giving this one here at 87 out of 100. Hopefully you guys can see that. Reason behind that, I just love the flavor profile that this one offers up. You've got great character. It's not overly complex, but for what it does as a Bunnahabhain with that earthy smokiness, that's a clean peat, and all the underlying characters not fighting with one another, but working in harmony. I just really love that. And that's where I say this has got a very good body, very well balanced. In terms of price point, fantastic. In terms of does it need water, personally I say no. However, if you do find it a little bit spicier, because I've become accustomed now to spiced whiskies that are a little bit more spicy, feel free to add water. In terms of does it need water, time, the time element, completely optional. This one doesn't really alter itself too much with a lot of time. So let me know your thoughts actually down below in the comment section. Do you have a favorite peated Bunnahabhain? As I'll be interested to see what your guys' opinions and which ones have you guys tried. Well, on that note, I'm going to wrap the video at that. So if you have enjoyed, drop it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, which I'll leave over here. I'll leave some other Bunnahabhain videos on screen. This has been me, Jason WhiskyWise, very silent Mr. Bananas. We'll catch you for the next video. Slàinte.